I was watching Big Daddy Kane's interview on Drink Champs, and he was saying how Biz Markie, we got you. We was saying Biz Markie was saying how he was like, he wrote music for Biz Markie, like he wrote the Vapors. The Biz Markie gave him the blueprint, the template. You know what I mean? And like Biz Markie was like, nah, Biz Markie is like a really smart dude who just like is ignorant. Like he's really fucking smart.
Like ODB.
Like nah,
I mean,
think
you
ODB
couldn't
was
make
really
it to. You couldn't make it to where he got to being an idiot.
It wasn't luck. It definitely wasn't luck. It was definitely like he was like yo, and then he was like giving him the like write about this and do it like this. I just don't got the time to write it. Yeah. But like that's how Biz Markie is. So I think like the big ugly
one
gums,
of the great songs,
Vapors
from the '80s.
Yeah, it is.
Asa was born probably the year it was made.
Hey man,
welcome to the 27th episode of the How I Guys. We were talking about Biz Markie right before we came on. So
triple nines.
What is that?
7.
That sounds like a gang, bro.
3 times 9 equals
That's a movie, though.
Okay.
999.
Welcome to the 27th episode. You got your boy Booze right here. Kicking it off. You got Matt Create Swearing, Asa Bay. You got all the black clothing lines on right now.
Hey,
repping Detroit from head to the toe.
My
it's a beautiful thing.
What is he wears a new pair of Yeezys. We get into it. If a man has more than 5 or 6 pairs of Yeezys, I'm questioning everything about him because he got way more money than what I thought he did. But
or the universe just flows through people.
Well, shit. The universe didn't flow me like that. Then
The currents.
Universe poured through my black ass with some Yeezys. All right, just a pair or two. And then we got the guy over there sipping very black tea that's gonna stain his teeth probably.
So good.
No teeth staining.
From my brother.
Activated charcoal actually cleans
your teeth.
I knew that. I was
like turmeric does.
Hey.
What I learned.
Yeah. You can make a toothpaste out of a combination of those with some coconut oil.
Bow.
I told shout out to Adora. I told her to come up with a toothpaste. I don't know of any black-owned toothpaste companies. I thought it was a good idea.
We're going to start.
One called Blue Lotus Essentials.
Oh, she has a toothpaste?
She has anything external for the body. Like if people want to heal, her husband is a magician, a sorcerer, etc. Manipulating energies from the inside out. That might get a bad connotation, to religious folks. But for those who have a more open mind, they understand. And then she addresses the body from the outside in.
Okay.
So we're going to have shea butter, whatever.
That's dope. We're going to have a special segment where Booze pontificates on how he told somebody to do something and they didn't do it. I told Asa to write a book.
Hey, dog, I'm sorry. I be having
Speaking of the book,
I told Rada to.
I'm sorry, dog. I'm full of good ideas. If that is one of my gifts.
Have a book and write that shit down, bro. But this book about to go dumb.
Yeah.
I need y'all to preview everything before I get it published.
Asa Nori Bay is writing a book, and I am genuinely excited because this is going to be a groundbreaking, revolutionary, mind expanding, uplifting, empowering piece of literature that I am privy to before you because I am better than you. And also, no, I'm not better than you. Maybe just a little bit. But
them previews is crazy. He been dropping on us, bro.
Yeah,
Jeez.
They are.
Hey, man.
They are.
I feel like my pineal gland is on overload reading something.
It's gonna get balanced out.
It's like my third eye is bleeding.
I'm levitating.
So today we're going to kick it off by talking with a little news piece going into what's going on next week. We are going to speak about the election, being prepared mentally, physically, making sure you already cast your ballot. If you haven't, it's not too late. Some of the options. Our buddy Dave walked out. He was going to talk a lot about how he decided that he didn't trust the mail. What are you guys' thoughts going into next week, fellers?
Man, I really have a question for all the voters and people who are not voting, whoever. No matter who you are voting for, my question to you is, like, after the person that you want to win wins, like, are you going to be, excited and just sit on your ass and be like, yes, we made it, yes? Or do you have some type of active plan that you want to implement, for throughout the, next 4 to 8 years?
I love you said that too, bro, because I had this long debate with some friends in the group chat from EMU. Shout out to my EMU group chat friends because I love y'all. And I was like, I'm not voting. And I was like, yo, vote. and like they really didn't convince me to vote as much as like I don't want y'all. Not that I don't want y'all to. If y'all ever listen to my fucking podcast, EMU group chat, y'all had great valid points. It was more of they did. It's more of when it came to the local thing. I said that's why I'm voting, not because of these two bozos that are gonna be elected. It's like these cats. Like I don't. And in addition to I was voting for other people more so than myself. You know what I mean? Like it's not. The voting piece is like. It ain't for like I feel like it's for my mother. It's for because the truth of the matter is. We live in this place where they say crazy shit is going to happen whether this guy gets in office or this guy gets in office. So I'm really less concerned now about who gets in office. And I guess, but I was watching these ladies light up Ice Cube on Roland Martin. And this one lady said something that really triggered me. She said, yo, women and black women are now collectively more concerned about their physical health and whether or not they'll be harmed as a result of who's in power. And to me, I was like, damn, like that's really fucking selfish of me to not think about my mother, the ladies in my life, my sisters, my good friends, because I want to be, I'm just worried about, I want to be right. You know what I mean? Be like, these both are losers. I had to take into account the ladies in my life and other people, and that's why I really voted 110%.
That is still mind-blowing, though, bro. The person in the White House publicly said multiple times, grab him by the pussy.
Yeah, it is.
Like, this is the person in the fucking White House. This shit is, and then now it's normal now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's accepted.
It's
like,
even worse. Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Which makes it 10 times worse. It's like, people are finding excuses or justifications for it. That's even crazier. Think about that. They're trying to justify a man saying that ill ass shit with no repercussions, negative repercussions to his actions. And like, again, like I think they both clowns, but shit, I'd rather have a clown in office who my mother isn't, who creates some type of comfort for my mother so she doesn't feel like the world is gonna burn tomorrow. That's important to me, man. That's really, really important to me. And I had to take my selfishness lens off and say, you know what? It ain't just about you. We a collective, you know what I mean? And sometimes you not even take an L as much as you make a collective decision. That's why I kind of felt like I had to. That's why I jumped in. So my EMU group chat group folk, thank you. Because y'all definitely were the people who pushed me in that direction to think was more collective. That was my guerrilla speech. Thank you.
Yeah, that was that's pretty compassionate, though. You know
that
what
was
I'm saying? Because, the way I thought about elections years ago, like, I didn't vote. I didn't vote when Obama got elected either of the times. And I had that same kind of mindset, like, no matter which way I go, I'm not going to see an improvement. Like, my people have been under the boot of all the presidents, including Obama. And I get flack for that, for saying that he didn't move the needle enough.
But they dealing with ignorance too, if they don't understand where you coming from, you know?
And I think, man, like even with that, sometimes perception is greater than reality. And that's why I would challenge myself and you in that one. The perception of having a black man in office empowered a lot of people to move forward.
That's a fact.
So I think that's what I'm coming to learn is, and we kind of talked about this last week, we were talking about perspective.
But I'm glad you said that. That tied into what I was going to say when you were talking about why you voted for your mom.
Yeah.
And the comfort piece.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people take it on that level. Like, it will literally affect your health. Like, having Trump in office is affecting people's health.
Because they stressing, worrying.
Yep.
And
especially somebody, not to cut you off,
yeah,
somebody of Booz's or my mom's or your mom's age that may not be super in tune with.
What you trying to say about my mama's age, bro? We on the air. I'm gonna make, what's this, episode 27? It's a wrap.
That she older than us.
It's a wrap, buddy.
That she.
Yep.
I was just trying to say that she
Fast
older.
forward 10 minutes.
I apologize,
Wait for it.
Mama
Okay.
Asa, for saying that you're older than your son. Anyways, but yeah, I mean that definitely, that compassion part, I can definitely get down with that, because we got to think bigger than ourselves when it comes to something like this. We got to think like community focused.
Yeah. And
What I was hearing when you said your mother was gonna be comfortable, at that same moment, I also heard, well, damn, it's gonna be a whole bunch of black men incarcerated and in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because of the record and the history of Joe Biden and Miss Harris. But I'm more so looking at, because I'm rocking with them. Is not necessarily them in particular, but just the energy behind them.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at her being black, and I'm rocking with that energy, like you said, and what it represents.
You said one key thing was really led me on that fucking tangent anyway. I got to quit dropping these F-bombs, but I like them.
It's an exclamation point. Do your thing.
You said, what are you going to do during those 4 years? And that is the pivotal piece. And that is where one of my friends challenged me. And I was like, you know what? Now we here. I can't say anything because that's a good-ass point.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that we don't do anything, and that's what Roland Martin would speak to. Roland Martin, we're going to get you on the show, because I think Big Bro be having some jewels when it comes to a lot of things inside of our community.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not collectively engaged in the process during the 4 years, and this goes to myself, how much do you really have to say about it? I mean, how much validity does your opinion matter if you haven't been engaged in the process for 4 years? Come this time that, 4 years, and like, you haven't done anything. You haven't been to a town hall, a council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't been to a this, that, and the third. It's like you just spewing opinions without any action behind it. And I am heavily guilty behind that. And that's one of the things that.
But you're doing something about it.
Yeah,
and I just want to say that before you start jabbing yourself.
I'm not jabbing myself as much as I want to give myself more credibility to be in that conversation and have my opinion have weight or merit. You know what I mean? I think I'm always doing something. I think a lot of us are always doing something. I think a lot of us are great people, and we always engage with our community and our people. But the political system is one of those things where it's like, I think in order to have a voice in it, you got to be somewhat active. You ain't got to be like every week doing something or there. But, once a year, I feel like it should be something that's it's an important part of our day-to-day lives. Like it literally governs the society that we live in, and we've been so disconnected from it as black folk that we don't engage in it, and we've been disconnected from it intentionally. You know what I mean? Like,
because it don't serve us.
Well, no, because if it were to serve us, it wouldn't serve us. It wouldn't serve other people, and that's why, like, when they try to,
I don't necessarily agree with that, but
so if it were to serve us, it wouldn't serve other people. You don't get what I'm trying to say right there? Like, let's say if, so when slaves were freed, right, they were like, yo, you got to be able to read. You can't be a former slave. They put the black codes in place, right, because they knew that if slaves were to choose who they wanted to run a particular sector or what they would vote for, the slaves would choose overwhelmingly to empower themselves if they had the right. So you see what I'm saying? Like, if it serves us sometimes, it's not going to serve them. And so they put things in place to make it so we don't even want to engage in the process, and that we won't. It's too difficult. The lines are too long, and I think we're down this path now where that's been a consistent thing where it's like we gonna.
I don't think those couple issues really play a part, like the lines being too long. I don't think that's. I
would guarantee you that. You come on, man.
I mean, yeah,
what's
but
the
I don't think that's. I don't think that's just like black folks that think that way. Like, oh, the voting lines are too long.
What I'm saying, I mean, like, that's not the you going kind of going off on like the smallest of
I picked what you said.
Well, the bigger picture I was going at is that there have been things put in place to keep the black community from voting and being engaged in the political process, to keep them from having impact and change and control over the community that governs them.
No,
that's what
things that were put into place that's still in effect today.
They like in Atlanta where like if you're a felon, that's the easiest one. If you're a felon, you can't freaking vote.
So, yes and no. So, actually, you were asking me about Netflix earlier. There's and it's short. It's pretty cool. It's like 24 minutes long, and it's called Whose Vote Counts. And it's got AOC, it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's got quite a few people in it. And it basically walks through exactly what you're talking about. Like basically all of the shit that's been done over time to keep people from voting, and what they've been doing to knock that down. Like one of the stories they focus on is a guy in Florida who fought for years. You know, he was a felon when he was like 19. Really wanted to vote. Really wanted to get engaged. The governor of Florida that vetoed, like it was passed in their House and Senate. Governor vetoed it. He won the election later that year by fewer than the number of felons that would have been allowed to vote had that been restored. And the Florida Senate basically overrode his veto. Too late for that election, but now felons in the state of Florida have the right to vote. And stuff like mail-in voting. It's become a huge hot topic issue this year. What's weird is that you're talking about a federal election, but so much of it is governed state by state and like what can happen or not. Like, so there are 4 states where everyone, by default, if you are registered to vote, you get a mail-in ballot delivered to you. That just happens automatically.
What if you got a club foot? Can you vote in that state still?
What?
In Michigan, in Michigan and a bunch of other states, you have to request a mail-in ballot. In places like Texas, you have to have a valid reason why you cannot get to the polls in order to make a request for a mail-in ballot.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's weird. Like when you're talking about how things are run and the fact that it's a federal election, but it is governed by state rules, it's really, really weird.
Yeah. So state by state, it varies. But what the biggest thing was just to say that I feel like there have been a lot of things there have been a lot of barriers intentionally put in place to keep blacks out of politics, which is why you had a black president in 2008 as opposed to 1950. You know what I mean? Whose interest does it serve to have somebody of color, a person of color, in office? Not the people who want to continue things the way they were for the past 500 years. So that was really what I was speaking to, is that we got to be engaged to some extent, because everybody's going to have different levels of engagement. But when we get to the point,
do what you can though.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing is to do.
Not coming at you. I'm talking to the listener.
I'm saying period. I'm just saying to do, and I ain't saying I'm talking just in general. You got to do, because I remember I was saying damn, these some whack ass candidates, and my dog hit me off with oh shit, what were you engaged in the process prior to June? I wasn't. So what the fuck did I really say when we got these 2 candidates? I'm trying to give myself a leg to stand on, so I can at least be fuck this motherfucker and fuck this motherfucker, and I feel good saying it or not voting. You know what I mean?
Right. That work, I feel like the average person can do what you're already doing, believe it or not. Because a lot of times we be, I can't do this, I'm not like this, because we be looking from the inside out, but from the outside looking at you, gardening, you got your foot down in your community, setting an example, you taking care of business, entrepreneurship, working, etc. You shining a light, you know what I'm saying? In this city, that's teeter-tottering between 1, 2, and 3 on the most illiterate place.
Yeah.
On the Western Hemisphere, basically.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I am a part of that illiteracy group too, because any words that have more than 5 letters, somebody say it first before I say this and look stupid.
Who did you say? We went to high school together. Who you said that about the other day? One of the guests, potential guests? Don't say the name. I ain't trying to put him on blast.
I can't even remember.
But you was like, we went to high school. I'm going to make sure I keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
But, one thing that stuck out to me when you 2 were exchanging is us as black folk, us as blah, blah, blah. We throw that word around, and most people just hear, those people with that particular hue or skin color. When we say us as black people, what does that really mean? I throw that out there because I think that 99.99999% of so-called black people cannot answer that question significantly or thoroughly. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't answer it probably to your expectations, because you're going to probably want some DNA definition. But I would say that the people who collectively go through the same experiences inside of this country we live in, that's my very general answer. And I give an example. I remember I was talking to my homegirl Jazz about like, cause she from Lansing and she real like, you know, when I first met her, she had like a Valley Girl tone to her, like totally type shit almost. And Jazz, you don't sound like that. She a damn doctor now, so don't come for me. But we had a conversation, and then she was like, "Yo, I'm still black." You know what I mean? Like I'm still going through like the same experiences that everybody else goes through.
I have a friend like that. She's really big in the social media scene. In fact, she was heavily involved in Yang's campaign, and it's so funny because she's dude, number one, she's a gorgeous black woman, but total Valley Girl. Yeah. Like it's hilarious. Like it's almost. Anytime you hear like a different voice than what you like, it's almost incongruous. It's yeah.
But and she's I bet she's for the cause. And also Andrew.
Oh
Yang,
hell yeah,
Andrew Yang's that motherfucker too. I
like him. Yeah.
He's a dope.
Yeah,
but,
Andrew Yang is the guy.
But that's what I would say. That's my idea when I say black. Like I can't. It's so hard to put for me personally to put a boundary on what exactly it is, or to, you know, and I'm good with words, or I can at least say a lot of words back to back. So that would be how I would kind of walk into that particular conversation. I guess I would refine my answer as, you know, the conversation evolves. Akil Torrance Tally. What's your middle name?
Kasai, my baby.
Kasai, that's right. Man,
yeah.
Shout out to your mom. I know.
Pop Dukes. That was Pops all the way.
Sheesh.
As an Ethiopian freedom fighter.
My dad's name is Albert. It's like
well, I mean, my dad's name is Arnold, so I'm sure he was okay. No more.
Albert got
no
Al
more.
In front though. A-L, E-L, Al,
God.
like all, like. That's some shit right there.
It still sounds really corny though.
It sounds like it. But sounds can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. You know?
Man, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Remember we said we gonna have that one sister come up here and drop some bombs on the etymology, right?
Yes.
So we could understand what the fuck we saying. When
yes.
We said,
and the energy behind it.
Shout out to that
and the
etymology
origin
podcast.
behind it.
I'm gonna look at it while you start talking because
cool.
I want to give a shout out to the etymology podcast we were listening to recently. And
yeah.
So what was? I'm sorry, I cut you off. Akil Kasai.
What?
Cassie?
Do I? What do I consider when I say
us black folks? Us black folks. Like,
pretty similar to what Booze said. Only because that's the only experience I know. So when I speak like that, I'm kind of speaking to or about the person that's going through this a similar situation as me growing up in America, being a young black man or woman living in an inner city under the umbrella of a system that just was not built for you.
Okay, so let me ask you a hypothetical question based on that.
Mm-hmm.
Does Jaden Smith fit into that category then?
He definitely does because...
What you just said?
No. As blacks, it don't. For me, it don't just stop at because I grew up next door to this dude, or we both grew up in the hood. Maybe my initial explanation was too simplistic.
Okay,
but if you well then I could play it multiple ways. So if you grew up under this colonialized world that this skin tone doesn't benefit you, and you understand why, you understand the origin. Because some black folks that ain't for their own people. They would as easily watch them suffer, or
the Uncle Ruckuses of the world.
The Uncle Ruckuses of the world.
I hear what you're saying, but I also hear what Dave is saying.
So I think an even more simplistic definition then is, okay, let's say you get dropped off in really rural Alabama.
Yeah, I get what you're going.
How are people going to treat you?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
Like I'm going to have a better time than any of the three of you.
Yep.
Just as shitty as that is to realize it's reality.
That's facts.
Last night, I had to do something at my job late night, right? And these dudes from West Virginia showed up to disinfect my job because of a thing that happened there. And I was like, damn, I wish I had a gun on me right now, because one of these motherfuckers had to be 6'5" and had to be a solid 5 feet wide. Like
Some good old boys.
Gotta get
This
that
was
green belt, baby.
man, shit.
Come on.
Greenbelt need bullets with that type of. He was that big.
Not
Shit.
when you get it from the 36. I promise you.
36 ain't there yet. That's why I needed. Maybe that's why I was thinking I needed a gun right there. But I know when they started to 36 was getting that CCW. So
That's for extra. I mean, you might have to take out 1,000.
but
So,
but just
Hey,
the
them-
layer.
them- them
Wearing a
instruct-
green belt that I'm pulling my Glock off of.
I feel you.
Them
What
instructors.
you gonna do when the bullets? That's the easy button. What
Hey.
you gonna do when the bullets run out?
Listen here.
Oh,
Them
well,
instructors
I-
is weapons.
That big motherfucker's down. Everybody else I got.
All right,
Let me-
for sure.
from now on, I'm doing this laugh to commemorate one of our instructors. Every show I'm doing that laugh. But all that to say, that yeah, you're right about like when if you get dropped off in West Virginia, I bet you on the team then because
Yeah,
I
you
think
shit out of luck.
because the thing is like the Uncle Ruckus man is like man, there's so many different things in this society to condition us and like manipulate us. Look at Kanye West, and I ain't shout out to Ice Cube. I got number love for Cube, but I think he's being manipulated by the Republicans to have him vouch for them when they have no intent on following through with anything they're gonna say. And it's like, if he can make him do it, I'm putting Cube and I'm putting Cube in office behind that. But I'm very skeptical of the actions of the follow through behind them boys. But all of that was more to say that like the people who are like labeled Uncle Ruckus and it's just conditioning, man. It's manipulation. This country is just full of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, how do you? It's hard to escape the fucking deception. It is.
Man, I saw a meme on Instagram that was so apropos. I think I took a screenshot of it because I wanted to remember it, and it was like, "Reality isn't real," and underneath the word "reality" were reality television shows, which we all know are scripted, but are passed off as real. You know what I'm saying? So, it was like we are
That's crazy.
literally living in the Matrix.
Red Claw had a freaking post that says something along the line, where he said something along the lines of like, think about this, your spiritual leader is deceiving you, or something along those lines. Like, just to say that like spirituality, even your spirituality is deceptive because it ain't telling you the truth of what it is and where it comes from. You know what I mean? Like, we live in a world full of deception, man. And but all I have to say, that's why, again, I kind of just go back to the Uncle Ruckus, man. It's like, I might not like you as a person, but unfortunately you like that real sorry guy on my team. You know what I mean? You bench time times 10. You the person that ain't getting no PT under any circumstances. You just own the team, and we ain't got a choice because your mama is the one to make all the snacks and your daddy the coach. You know what I mean?
And you can't sit next to me at the table. And I might beat your ass if you in the
And
bathroom.
you probably getting your ass beat a couple times because, you know, like, Daddy, let me get in the game. You know,
You saving Uncle Ruckus or John Brown? I'm saving John Brown.
John Brown. I'm just saying, but the thing is though, he was still on the team until I had to drop his ass. You know, oh man, y'all ever seen The Good Son?
No.
Yes.
That's
With Macaulay Culkin.
I reference that all the time for people because at the end of it, my man's like is holding his son, and he's holding like his like nephew or something, and his son is a piece of shit off a cliff. You're like, man, I gotta save one of you. Oh, this ain't even a hard decision. You out of here, baby boy.
I like that. I want to bring it back to when I asked, like, or said something about black people not understanding what that means.
Yep.
Like, our perception when we say that is just a person with some dark skin that possibly came over here on a slave ship, that was possibly over here before Columbus, was publicized, et cetera, et cetera. But what I wanted to get to was the more, like what me and Dave were discussing, like a couple episodes back when we brought up Rudolph Steiner, talking about like evolution versus condensation or involution, et cetera, et cetera. But my point here is reminding people at least just to go back and look inside of yourself or meditate, pray, whatever you believe in. Like Boo said, go to the origin of that and look and see and realize who and what we really are. It's not necessarily a black thing because every single human being is the concentrated version of what we might call infinity or eternal potential, the cosmic clay. However you want to word it is up to you. Personalize it however you want to. But black people have this like some type of block going on, like where their pineal gland glasses are not working and have been working for hundreds of years. Like, nigga, you are the blueprint. Like, why are you acting like a person who has to reach outside itself for approval? You don't have no type of self-empowerment.
Can I
you
give
need
you-
to get back there.
I'm sorry. We talking
And
for
I'm messing with
No,
you.
you're right.
Go
You're right.
ahead
We
there.
talked about over talking each other in the car, so now I'm like trying to be super conscious of it. My bad, bro. Your work. You got it. So I think this when you say that our pineal gland is blocked, could you clarify that for the listener,
I was making a
for
joke,
an
right?
active listener?
I was making a joke right there, but that's an excellent segue to bring some clarity on that subject because a lot of people use the terminology, the pineal gland is calcified, and we tend to look at calcium like the bad guy when calcium is not a bad thing. It's very essential all throughout the body, but it tends to get that solid, concrete, undesirable condition going on in the body when we're not fully mineralized in other areas, like if we lack in magnesium, potassium, things that the calcium might need to work appropriately in the body. It can tend to have this type of hardened appearance or condition that can stop other things from working properly, like the pineal gland. But the real bad guy in this situation will be the fluoride, like in the toothpaste and the water and a whole bunch of stuff like that. And the foods we eat, et cetera, et cetera. Blue light from watching the TV all the time or being on the phone. Lack of, it's a whole bunch of things going on.
It is funny that you we would label calcium. We're talking about calcium, right?
Yeah.
Calcium is a bad thing, and then be like, you know what? Let me get this tap water and throw some Kool-Aid in it, add 20 cups of sugar, better tear it up.
Facts,
you know what I mean?
facts. Every day or every other day,
And
like
not
it's
even think
a
twice
culture.
about it. Not even think twice about it. But I was really about to touch on. You said, why are we here? This is just my thought process. So this ain't like if you a history major, all right, you better than me because you know some details. I'm just saying this. The person who's that like, well,
They getting taught what they got taught.
so whoever gonna stick their finger up, well, technically, ass motherfucker, is so. I had this conversation on Facebook with a lady I don't know, and she was like, "Why are people mad about Christopher Columbus?" And then I go off on a tangent there, and then she goes, "Well, everybody used to kill everybody back in ancient times." And I said, "Well, no, they didn't. That's definitely a cultural thing. That's definitely a part of people's culture. People were very interactive with each other. So part of this comes from the fact that, like, when they were grabbing some of us, like, yeah, they were like, blacks were sending blacks off to America. They didn't know that they would be shackled and have their dicks cut off, and they would have, you know what I mean? Like, the level of barbarism, I don't know how to...
Some people didn't know.
Some people...
Because in certain civilizations, like the Dogons to this day over in Mali in North Africa, still are able to tap in and see things that we as Americans can't even see with telescopes. But what I'm saying is, like, there were different African cultures who were able to perceive and plan things 25,000 years ahead of time and have this stuff recorded. That's being done right now in real space and time.
What I'm speaking to is more of the fact that, like, when we were coming over here and the blacks who knew we were coming over here, they did not know what was happening to us.
Those folks, I just want to differentiate between those folks, who maybe didn't get their stuff together and the folks who might have been inside the earth or flew off on a spaceship or whatever.
Well, I'm trying to get to us. Well, I guess because I'm trying to get to us and how you said, like, how we're so, like, disconnected, so to speak. You said it more succinct. You said it you had more fluid. And so
Be like water.
So we get sent to America, and then they do everything to literally condition us.
Who is we again, bro? Because some people came here and some people was already over here.
Well, the people
Especially
who
big old man head ass nigga.
the people who were enslaved. Because one thing about us, man, is that we got multiple. Like, I got a big head, so yeah, I might have been here, but another part of my family wasn't here before that. You know what I mean? And I would say all of us, because we're very blended people.
For sure.
So I think that's one thing we really got to start taking into account, especially you a person of color. Is like maybe you got some Native American, because this is a dude who I know who be claiming Native American. I guarantee you he has some white in his lineage.
What's Native American though?
Well, based off what it says, his people are native to America. It's very, very transparent when I say that.
What used to be called Indians, the Cherokee, the Sioux.
Okay.
When I say
Choctaw.
Native American, if you feel like because there are a lot of blacks that feel as if they were here previously.
I mean, I was born in America. That doesn't make me Native American.
Well, they're saying like just like alongside the people who were considered Indians, there were blacks who were also Native American when Columbus arrived. That's a thought process. You know what I mean?
I have people that I know who theorize that the Native Americans that we talk about that were in books are black people.
Yeah, and I'm not. I don't.
Ivan Van Sertima for listeners. They came before Columbus. Go check that out. You
That
can
definitely-
probably check it out on the Audible right now at this point in time.
That definitely were both groups. I mean, like that definitely was what we consider the Native Americans. That group was definitely here to me. Like that's proven that they were here. We might have both been here. I agree with that. This is definitely not going down the road where I was trying to get to.
And
What I was trying to get to that. So I'll go back to what I was trying to get to initially though. Was just saying that like
what I was saying was
that we've been conditioned. The black people who were enslaved, right? Whether you were here before or here via the Atlantic slave trade route, you have literally they seasoned you. They took your name, your language.
took you away from your mama.
Your
you
mama.
over here.
I don't think you should be claiming that white people seasoned anything. Let's
Actually, this is the only thing white people actually have seasoned, and it's the worst season of ever. You know what I mean? It's Mrs. Dash and cheesecake or some crazy shit.
We need a dude in the corner with a drum set.
Earlier I was thinking, man, we need like a snaps. Like when we say some deep shit, we need that shit to pop off.
You gotta get that app, man.
the snaps app. Where's that?
Snaps app.
Shit. If it don't exist, that sounds like it's gonna make some money and be really easy to make.
When you finish this, I want to jump in and respond.
So that was my response to you is that there's been a lot of conditioning from being ripped from your home to having your culture ripped away from you, to having your family ties ripped away from you, to having your connection to your people ripped away to you, to then being drugged up, miseducated. You know what I mean? All these different layers of bullshit to put you in this space, and that's what we fight against. And that's why you said earlier, like, you know, I'm in my community. That's why I'm in my community, because I'm helping fight against. I'm trying to help peel back some of the bullshit layers that we have to reach our peak potential as a people. Yeah, that's it, because that was gonna be going on forever.
No, I like that, and that's a good subject matter for a future show. Like our peak potential, what we really capable of. Like have a whole discussion about that. You know what I'm saying? Aces in their places. But my response to that is twofold. On one end, I think that back then, that whole discussion about people who were already from Africa and was over there, and people were Indian and all these different types of black people over here, blah 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 blah. What is the difference from that and somebody saying, I'm from this side of the street, you from that side of the street, I'm about to kill you because you crossed over, too far or something like that? It's just, like, what's the difference? That's still some type of separation, some type of fragmentation that's unnecessary. And I'm pretty sure if you take all of those groups back far enough, they come from the same place.
I think
back to Mother Africa or
I'm not
back
trying to separate
the
it.
cosmos or whatever.
What I'm doing is I'm saying that
I'm not coming at you.
Well,
I'm coming at that particular discussion.
What I'm
that gets
clarifying,
thrown
I guess what
around.
I'm clarifying is like, if you take away my knowledge of Arkansas, if you take away my knowledge of my mother, my family history that I know of, you remove all that. It's not Arkansas isn't me. It's who helped me. It's it's not the land. It's not the land. It's the history associated with the place for me personally, who makes me who I am. You're taking away my identity, and like y'all never hear me on here screaming about Razorbacks, which y'all all know I'm from Arkansas, right? Because I don't care about anything about Arkansas like that. I don't care that we own a state that has a dynamite.
I wouldn't rep Razorbacks if I was you either.
Well,
But I mean,
we have really good barbecue, but it's more of their identity was removed, who they were. It's not where, it's period, the idea of your identity being removed. You feel me? So I guess to clarify, like, it don't matter where you're from in this world, you got to be who you are based off of where you come from and the experiences that you went to. And that's what empowered you to be who you are, good and bad. That's what I'm saying. They ripped away. You know what I mean? The identity with their home.
yeah.
So I think that's more of what I'm reaching to. Not like, oh, the Africa piece is neither here nor there. They could have came from Europe. They
I'm
came.
just saying that's a different way to separate people to this day. Even black people separating their own self, fighting about I'm a Moor, I'm an African, I'm a shut up. You still look like how you look, and if you go like what Dave or y'all was saying earlier to West Virginia or somewhere down south in the wrong spot, you're gonna get dealt with the same way.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I agree though, bro. I agree. I think we should all just be people. You know what I mean?
Ideally, it's all about vibration. It's not even that's the skin color thing. Like who was that? Nelly Fuller said the biggest issue was the color line. That's but color is vibration too. Because like we said, it's some white folks that do way more righteous, great things for humanity than a lot of black folks. And it's a lot of black folks that act like goddamn devils every day, Uncle Ruckuses or whoever. You know what I'm saying? But the other thing that I wanted to bring up was,
Nothing.
the other thing I wanted to bring up was
Wow.
what you said about like all the stuff, people being stripped from their heritage and all of this and whipped and all the slavery and all of that. If that did not take place, would we still be sitting on our ass or being in whatever weak condition we was in? Because if we the most powerful people on the planet, there's no way in hell that can happen to the most powerful people. We had to be in some type of condition. And, I mean, of course, it might have been people in cahoots or whatever, but still, we had to be in some type of condition where that was allowed to happen. So
I think it was a level.
Let me just say this, and then you could go. I promise you, it's 15 seconds. If that ass whooping and that pressure did not take place, would we be interested in becoming the best version of ourselves now? Would we be interested in like striving to be who we truly are capable of being? No. Pressure. Your mama whooped your ass and made you get them good grades. You didn't just want to get no good grades.
I get that, man, but also too. I guess.
I'm not praising it. I'm just putting two and two together. Like that was to say that was in divine order too.
Everything's in divine order. You know what I mean? So I agree with that. I guess and I'm not like we are what we are. So like I'm good from moving forward from this point forward. I'm not saying that I'm not going to keep my heritage in my back of my mind. But I will say that fuck it, I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh man.
So the average person could only hold their thought, the average person, for like 30 seconds. It's a wrap.
I feel like this conversation, first off, this was not the topic of the show, everybody. I swear to God, this show evolved like a motherfucking what is a larva to a butterfly?
Yeah, cocoon, butterfly.
This motherfucking conversation evolved, baby. This was not the topic, but it got good.
Trajectory and everything.
Sure did.
But it's all good. It's more so like a sphere instead of some type of linear whackness,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Holistic. But that's something that needs to be understood. Like people, let's start digging in and tapping into. Cause we just took the inhale with the oils. You did? Did you check it out? Put the oil in your hands, take a deep breath. I don't know about y'all. My insides feel completely different just from inhaling something after 3 seconds. Like, so when it comes to all this corona stuff, COVID stuff, like, oh my God, put the mask on. Oh my God, take a shower 3 times a day. Oh my God, don't touch your face. All this external stuff is pointless if we're not addressing the inside. We got a damn universe in here. And if we start to tweak that and address that, we could see some major changes. We could start seeing people for who they truly are, not how they appear to be.
We need to have one of them shows dedicated to just straight up, like, motivation. Like, get to it.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be one. That was one topic we actually had proposed by Asa. Somebody else threw an idea out there.
Yeah,
idea book. That might need to be a thing, bro. We need to have a little, like people got rap books, an idea book. We could just flip open and boom, this, that, put 2 and 2 together.
Man, we be having all the ideas. We just we don't document them well. We need like a secretary. You know what I mean? Well, with a better title though. Like shit. I can't think of what it'd be, but. You're going to be like an essential part of this
administrative assistant.
The word you're looking for is intern.
Intern.
Wow.
Somebody actually said that the other day too, man. We need an intern.
Hey, come on, man.
All right.
Preferably from Renaissance High School or somewhere,
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Up to par education.
Good Lord.
Dave, where did you go to high school?
Oh, God, New Hampshire.
Are you from fucking New Hampshire?
It's where I lived at that time in my life, yeah. Oh, and I assure you, there is no more white bread conservative state in the nation than New goddamn Hampshire.
Yeah, really. I feel like I got good seafood up there.
Oh, dude, all of New England, dude. Like lobster's like $1/4 a pound, and it's
quarter a pound.
No, seriously, it's like so. Like I've actually been looking at like we used to do. There was a big tradition out there. You do a clam bake, and so you get one of those big ass like 40-gallon metal trash cans. You light up a fire pit or a Weber grill, but whatever, and you put like potatoes and seaweed and mussels and seaweed and yada seaweed layer, and the very thing you put on top is the lobster. And then you put it on the thing and let it cook. When the lobsters turn red, everything is done. And that's like a big thing out there. Like it happens once or twice a fall. There's like usually like the street gets together and does a thing. Like it's just a thing. To do that shit here, that's like a $1,500 a day.
Yeah.
To pull all that credit. I'm like, what? Like that was like $100.
Dave, you got 15 for a clam bake. Go ahead and get it popping.
Kids in New Hampshire having lobster fights.
So, yeah, dude, like lobster chowder was what everybody called poor man's chowder. Because that's what the fishermen used to eat.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
And now I'm freaking hungry.
That's crazy.
it's all perspective and situation.
All
Vegan thing in the
perspective.
trash can, I'm definitely messing with the lobster. For sure. Lobster with some butter, baby.
Oh my God! Today, Asa eats meat is gonna be the worst day of his life, and not because it's a bad thing, but because I am blowing it up to astronomical proportions.
Hey,
I'm sure
prepared
he's-
for that, bro.
I'm about to say,
'Cause
I'm
the
sure.
thing is,
I'm sure this fool gonna have like Instagram countdown.
oxtails and red. What's the redfish called?
Red snapper.
Red snapper. Oxtails and red snapper is gonna be between one of them. I never had either one of those.
Snapster
heard-
is phenomenal.
I
man.
heard. But the thing is with this transition, like, and that's why I be like, man, I don't even want to be a part of the vegan thing. Like, even though like I've been so called eating like a vegan for the last decade or something like that, I don't like to be associated with that because people be, vegan and still be eating crazy. Vegan ended up in the hospital, dead, same issues as everybody else. Like, shut up with that. It's a fad. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like true, genuine, realistic, vibrational health, that's what I'm into. And when I get to the point where I'm able to make my cells bow down to my consciousness from the inside out without the aid of something external like food, I'm for damn sure about to tap back into Mother Nature and all of the options she has on her buffet.
And I have started my assery of intentions of just blowing this out of proportion by starting here. I started just that quickly because I couldn't think of all the way down. Last one.
Bet it up. Hey.
Adora Bendelli, listen to episode 27 of the High Guys.
Man, that's my cosmic twin. If anybody understands where I'm coming from, she understands. For sure.
If she ever eats meat, I swear to God, I'm going on a meat fast. It's like nothing but nothing but meat for like nothing but meat too. It's like
Man,
I'm eating just like a pork roast for like dinner.
it ain't even about that. It's about enjoying the human experience and not succumbing to like the material world and the low vibrations. Because once you can make those things bow down and submit to you, it's a wrap. You can do as you please because you're not like like the dude you said came into the thing. Somebody like 100,000 pounds, got all the muscles or whatever like that. They not really tripping over some little kid, punching them as hard as they can in the leg. Like, come on, little puny boy. Let me sit you down. When you big dog like that from the inside out, it's a wrap. Y'all don't be letting Dom fool y'all, dog. Dom, not saying his intention is to, but like behind the scenes, he be taking care of himself. He eat herbs. He got fruits and vegetables in the backyard. Take care of his oils, minerals. He healthier than the average vegan.
I'm definitely not fooled by Dom.
I'm about to say, I think he's just like what you're trying to do is like he shares a life on a holistic lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like I'm enjoying myself, and like I can't wait to get that brother on the show.
Yeah. He down if y'all want to do the a Zoom or something like that.
He's definitely deserving of a Zoom call, man.
Unless he do the gas mask.
The big TV.
Oh, okay. Oh,
okay.
That's
that
why the
reminded me
TV's
of
here.
Batman. Remember they had the Joker? It was like, they had the Asian dude.
That's honestly that's why the TVs are here because we
we
limit the number of people that are allowed in studio at any point in time. So if people have anything above that or guests from around the country or wherever, they come in via Zoom, and that's why we switch from these cams to those cams back there, so that way you're looking at the TV and you're looking at them, and you can hear them through your headphones, and it sounds like they're in the studio.
Don, I saw your cost of love spells Please give us a discount for coming on the show.
You might need to get a membership, bro.
Well, I don't need a love spill. I'm just saying I saw the numbers he was hitting people for. And if he going to charge us something like that to come on the show, we're going to have to work out some type of payment plan to get you, brother.
Yo,
Chop it up with Don, man. He is a fly dude. I got a reading that was earlier this year. I got a reading earlier this year.
That was right when we went on our kayaking trip.
Yeah. And
hands down, one of the most amazing humans I've ever met in my life.
yeah, he was
Period.
super in tune, too.
Red Claw Conjure. Right?
Red Claw _ Conjure on the gram.
Conjure.
Yep.
I need a sweet gram name. My name is my name on
Yeah,
Instagram.
it's pretty whack.
I
It's
know.
pretty terrible.
Change your Instagram handle to my name is my name.
That's kind of
whatever.
sweet. That's kind of sweet. That's like some rapper stuff. You know what I mean? My name
I
is
guarantee
my name.
you that's taken already.
My name is my name.
Yeah, you might need to switch up the, capitalize something or whatever. They might let you freak it out.
I'm gonna send it to you because you and Ada are good at like respelling things, NGA type shit. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna have y'all do that to it. Then it's gonna be really sweet. My NME is like, oh, this motherfucker's artsy, boy.
Holla.
All right,
Facts.
I think we should wrap up this episode, y'all. I think
This was pretty dope. It was pretty impactful.
This was. We always talk about like having our conversations on the air type shit. This was like probably the
That was
most,
definitely,
yeah,
Yeah.
the
I be
best
telling y'all, man.
representative of us having a conversation. Think about how fly it is to hang out with us. Jesus Christ,
Man, we should charge for that. Cash App.
yeah.
Cash App, capital A, lowercase SA, capital B, lowercase EY.
Yeah,
Wait till
send
we
us
go out of
50.
town, man.
Yeah.
That's
Cash App.
that's
Yeah.
gonna be a movie.
We put my cash up in there. Cash up BOOZE. 1 for the numbers, and that is and
Road
just
trips
put
are always where the fun happens.
Hey,
road
boy.
trips. Oh man,
It's about to be phenomenal.
it's gonna be as if a road trip with them would be like a car full of like ancient stones and herbs and minerals
And
shit,
books.
and books.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, oh man, did we pack lunch?
I'm trying to get my memorization game back up, man. Because some books, if you look at some cultures, like they be memorizing the Quran, they be memorizing the Bible, they be memorizing
Like
stuff
all the way.
front to back, back to front. Like, you know what that does to your brain?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Take up
crazy.
some good space.
Bro.
I'm sorry, I've got too many like 80s lyrics and movies quotes that need that space. That's
Man, but the way
You
the
ain't
mind
never
works.
lied. I got so much hip hop in my head. I could quote so much Wu-Tang right now. It don't make sense.
That's a blessing, those Wu-Tang.
Dude, one of the
those
best moments of my life. So my business partner and buddy Bob and I went to the Kings of Rap show at DTE or Pine Knob, and we were like 8th row, and it was like De La Soul was up, and then Public Enemy was up, and we're sitting there just every word to every damn song. And there were 4 ladies in the row in front of us that at one point like turned around, double took to the point where I thought they were gonna snap their neck and went, "Damn, y'all go on, white boy."
Yes. De La Soul is the epitome of hip hop.
And this is why we like Dave. All right. Well, this is
miss
not
those guys.
why, but this
Love
is
De La
definitely
Soul, bro.
why Dave is in the
Love De La
collective
Soul.
of the High Vibe guys because his
Sick of
energy is just
bitches shaking
phenomenal.
asses.
Yeah, man.
Way to drop the worst verses. I mean, the worst bars of all time.
That was a phenomenal song from De La Soul.
Let's keep this
Of
same
course, you
energy
wouldn't
on
know
the
because
next show.
you're not.
That
into
stakes is
hip-hop
high.
like that.
That stakes is high. Who produced that?
All right. Next.
Yeah, who produced that? Dilla.
Come on, bro. That was
Wow.
a softball pitch right there.
First off, you just said
It's
I
your
didn't
favorite-
know. You didn't know.
That is true. You
God.
did come through with that. That's true.
Good God.
Anywho, let's wrap it up.
Let's
Wrap,
wrap it
wrap.
up. Y'all
Wrap
want
it
to do
up,
some
back it up.
appreciations?
I got this mag meal in front of me, so I'm going to Chef Ali, thanking her for this fried chicken made out of oyster mushrooms and this lasagna. Yeah,
Shut up.
haters.
Thank you.
And on that note, I want to appreciate Asa because my bro always come through. Like he blessed us with these phenomenal teas today.
That he paid for 2 weeks
Well, I
ago.
mean, don't do that.
I'm just
Don't
saying.
act like you ain't give me a giant fucking tub one day. This dude gave me like a 64-ounce tea. Just on the house. Like, bro, come downstairs. I got a tea for you. Damn.
It's in Slurpee. It's
Bro.
tea. You got like the free Slurpee day. We can bring
I
your
think
own.
he
Yeah.
wasn't feeling good or something. I had to come through.
I don't know. I don't even think I was sick, bro. I just think you just gave me a big dumbass tea.
Hey,
I just
it's
think it
all
was just the
man.
love. Yeah.
I was probably in abundance that week.
But yeah, this
Flowing.
fool got the essential oils for us to, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to sniff on,
Hey, man.
get that good vibe.
Uh,
It's he just a fly little bro to have. So
I
I
appreciate
appreciate. Yeah.
I appreciate nature. I learned that at Cass one time when I went for like a
Then
visit.
you ruined it. Then you ruined it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was gonna thank y'all too. I was gonna do a quick appreciation for y'all because we really weren't gonna record today because I was like, I guess canceled and blah blah blah, and I'm sleepy and all this other stuff, and like, they didn't make me feel bad intentionally, but they were like, it's like, man, I still feel like we can have some really good shows, and I dug this conversation a lot, so I'm really glad that I came out, really glad that we went ahead and recorded because I will be probably on my 11,000 dream. Well, I might be up by now, but I wouldn't be recording if my brothers didn't influence me to come out today. So, I appreciate you two fellers for that.
Gang
And
gang.
notice he used Dave's favorite word out of all the words in the English language: influence.
Oh,
Influence.
shit.
Gang gang. Bong bong.
All right. So
Shots
that'll
fired.
be this episode of the High Vibe Guys, the 27th episode of the High Vibe
Yeah.
Guys. Ooh, we're going to have music in one of our future episodes in the intro. All right, peace, y'all. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.